Beyond Two Souls is a story of Jodie Holmes, who is a young woman who's connected to a mysterious entity, and it's that relationship that drives the whole story forward, as we try to find out what the entity is and why Jodie's connected to it, and what that means to her. She meets a whole bunch of different people during her lifetime that are trying to understand who that entity is and what the entity means to her, including a guy called Nathan Dawkins, who is played by Willem Dafoe. I should mention that Jodie is played by Ellen Page, and we chose her because she is a wonderful young upstart of an actress who really is able to capture all the different gamut of emotions that affect Jodie throughout her lifetime. Yeah, so the story it's kind of crazy actually. It spans the entire globe. One scene, what we've shown so far, one scene is Jodie Holmes is homeless in West America, and another scene which we're showing here today is her as a CIA agent in Somalia. So very, very different, the whole gamut of emotions she runs. So it really it's a very big story, very wide, lots of different things going on. And as I say, it's told outside of chronological order, so it's really one of those things that comes together right at the end, where you realize everything that you've done up to that point has a significance and makes a big difference in the code of the story. Even though it takes over 15 or 16 years of her life, one scene she might be 6 years old, the next scene she might be 23, those kinds of things. So what that means for the story is that it does jump around a lot, and you see different sides of who she is and who she becomes based on how you've played and what you've chosen to do. And her relationships with the other characters change as you move on, based on what you're trying to do, what you decided, how you play. So those decisions affect who she becomes and how the story pans out. The magic of what Quantic Dream does is that they marry those two things together. They marry together storytelling and gameplay. So it's not divided in the way traditional games are, where you see a cutscene and then play some game and see another cutscene. It's very much you play everything that's going on, almost to the point where you might not expect to need to play that section or make that decision or do that action. So it's very much the entire game you are playing through it. We're all about emotions in this game and all about actual storytelling. We want you to really get to love these characters and really understand what they're going through, empathize and sympathize with them, really feel what they feel. And that's why we want you to play as much of it as you can, so that you really feel like you become Jodie. And so as you play, as I say, you make those decisions that define who she becomes and who she gets close to, is far away from, and all those kinds of key decisions that define who a person is. You make those for Jodie.